Hello students, in this unit, this video, we are going to discuss about the unit 10. The title of the unit is Potential Appraisal, Assessment Centers and Career Succession Planning. The structure of this unit is the objectives, introduction, potential appraisal, assessment centers, career planning, and succession planning. Let me see one by one. The objectives of this unit is, after going through this unit, the students should be able to explain the concept of potential appraisal and its importance, understand what assessment center is and how it functions, differentiate between assessment centers and development centers, and discuss the process of career planning and its importance, and define succession planning and differentiate it from career planning. The introduction. The employees aspire to grow and expect this growth to take place at frequently intervals. Achievement of organizational goal, increased productivity and fulfillment of corporate objectives can be possibly only if the employees are feeling satisfaction and achievement. To achieve this, there is a requirement for a well-throughout system of career and succession planning in an organization. In this backdrop, this unit deals with the mechanisms of potential appraisal and ways and means employed by organizations such as assessment centers to provide growth. Potential appraisal. Many companies which carry out performance appraisal also keep records of the potential of their employees for future promotion opportunities. This task of identifying potential for promotion cannot be easy for the appraising manager, since competence of a member of staff to perform well in the current job is not an automatic indicator of potential for promotion. Very often, the first-class salesman is promoted to become a medical sales manager. The excellent chief engineer is promoted to become a very poor engineering director, and the star football player struggles to be a football player. The potential can be defined as a talent but unrealized abilities. There are many people who have the desire and potential to advance through the job they are in, wanted the opportunity to operate at a higher level of competence in the same type of work. The potential is the one that the appraiser should be able to identify and develop because of the knowledge of the job. This requires an in-depth study of the positions, which may become that into the consideration, and more subjective areas like quality is required. These may be the areas where the employee has not had a real opportunity to demonstrate the potential ability, and there may be the areas with which you as the appraiser are familiar. The indicators of potential appraisal. A sense of reality. This is the extent to which a person thinks and acts objectively besides being purely emotional pressure but pursuing the realistic projects with enthusiasm. Imagination, the abilities to let the mind range over a wide variety of possible causes of action, going beyond the conventional approaches to situations and not being confined to this is the way it is always being done. Power of analysis, the capacity to break down reformulate or transform a complicated situation into a manageable terms. Breadth of vision, the ability to examine a problem in the context of a much broader framework of reference, being able to detect within a specific situation, relationship with those aspects which could be affected the situation. Passiveness, the ability to sell ideas to other people and gain a continuing commitment, particularly when the individual is being using the personal influence rather than the management authority. Assessment centers. The employees are not contented by just having a job. They want growth and individual development in the organization. An assessment center is a multiple assessment of several individuals performed simultaneously by a group of trained evaluators using a variety of group and individual exercises. The assessment center are a more elaborate set of performance situation tests specifically designed to evaluate a candidate's managerial potential. The line executives, supervisors, and trained psychologists evaluate candidates as they go through one to several days of exercises that simulate the real problem. For instance, a candidate might be required to play the role of a manager, must decide how to respond to 10 memos and insert a specific to Assessment centers have consistently demonstrated results that predict later job performance in managerial positions. What are all the terms the competencies tells about? The competency may or may not be responding to the behavioral assessment as defined herein. A competency as used in various contemporary sources refers to an organizational strength, organizational goals, objectives, construct, or grouping of related behavior or else attributes. The competencies may be considered a behavioral dimension for the purpose of assessment in an assessment center. It can be defined precisely, expressed in terms of behavior observable on the job or in the job family. As in simulation exercise, a competency also must be shown to be related to success the target job or the position or job family. Behavioral classification. Assessment center requires that behaviors displayed by participants must be classified into meaningful and relevant categories such as dimensions, attributes, characters, aptitudes, qualities, skills, abilities, competencies, and knowledge. Assessment techniques. The techniques used in the assessment center must be designed to provide information for evaluating the dimensions previously determined by the job analysis. The assessment center developers should establish a link from behaviors to competencies to exercise assessment techniques. This linkage should be documented in the competency by exercise assessment technique matrix. The multiple assessment techniques must be used. These can include tests, interviews, questionnaires, sociometric devices, and simulations. Simulations. The assessment technique must include a sufficient number of job-related simulations to allow opportunity to observe the candidate's behavior related to each competency dimension being assessed. At least one and usually several job-related simulations must be included in each assessment center. A simulation is an exercise or technique designed to elicit the behaviors related to dimensions of performance on the job requiring the participants to respond behaviorally to situational stimuli. Assessor. Multiple assessors must be used to observe and evaluate each assessee. When selecting a group of assessors, consider characteristics such as diversity of age, sex, organizational level, functional work area, computer technology may be used to assess in those situations in which it can be shown that a computer program evaluates behavior at least as well as a human assessor. Assessor training. Assessor must receive through training and demonstrate performance that meets requirements prior to participating in an assessment center. The training should focus on processing of information, drawing conclusions, interview techniques, and understanding behavior. Recording behavior, a systematic procedure must be used by assessor to record specific behavioral observations accurately at the time of observation. This procedure might include techniques such as handwritten notes, behavioral observation scales, or behavioral checklists. Audio and video recordings of behavior may be made and analyzed at a later date. Reports. Assessor must prepare a report of the observation made during each exercise before the integration discussion. It is suggested that assessor must prepare the report immediately after the assessment is over, otherwise they are likely to forget the details. Not only this, these reports must be independently made. Data integration. The integration of behavior must be based on a pulling of information from the assessor or through a statistical integration process validated in accordance with the professionally accepted standard. During the integration discussion of each dimension, assessor should report information derived from the assessment technique, but should not report information irrelevant to the purpose of the assessment process. Uses of assessment centers. Data generated during the process of assessment can become extremely useful in identifying employee potential for growth. This data can be used for recruitment and promotion, where particular positions which need to be filled exist, both internal and external can be assessed for suitability to those specific posts. Early identification of personnel. The underlying rationale here is the need for the organization to optimize talent as soon as possible. High potential people also needs to be motivated so that they remain within the organization. Diagnosis of training and development needs. It offers a chance to establish individual training and development needs while providing candidates with a greater appreciation of their needs. Assessment Center and Development Center. Traditionally, an assessment center consisted of a suite of exercises designed to assess a set of personal characteristics. They were seen as a rather formal process where the individuals being assessed are the results feedback to them in the context of a simple yes or no selection decisions. In some cases, we can even find assessment centers that are so developmental in their approach that most of the assessment work done is carried out by the participants themselves. And the major functions of the center is to provide participants with feedback that is as much developmental as judgmental in nature. Difference between assessment and development center. The type of center can vary between the traditional assessment center just purely for selection to the more modern development center which involves self-assessment and whose primary purpose is development. One might ask the question, why group assessment and development centers together if they have different purpose? The answer to that question is therefore most assessment centers involve at least some development and most development centers This means that it is very rare to find a center devoted to pure assessment or pure development. It is easier to think about assessment center as being equally to do with the selection and development because a degree of assessment goes on in both. The assessment center have a pass or fail criteria, while development center do not have a pass fail criteria. Assessment centers are geared towards finding a job vacancy, while development centers are geared towards developing the individual. Assessment centers address an immediate organizational need, while development centers address a long-term need. Assessment centers are geared to meet the needs of the organization, while development centers are geared to meet the needs of the individual as well as the organization. An assessment center assigns the role of judge to assessor, while development centers assign the role of facilitator to assessor. And the assessment center places emphasis on selection with little or no development, while development center places emphasis on developmental feedback and follow with little or no selection function. Assessment center feedback and follow, while development center gives feedback immediately. Assessment center gives feedback at a later date, while developmental center involves the individual having control over the informed obtained. And the assessment center have a very little pre-center briefing, while developmental center have a substantial pre-center briefing. And the assessment center tend to be used with the external candidate, while developmental center tend to be used with the internal candidates. Career planning. Career is viewed as a sequence of position occupied by a person during the course of his lifetime. Career may also be viewed as an amalgam of chances, changes in value, attitude, and motivation that occur as a person grows older. The process by which individuals plan their life work is referred to as career planning. Through career planning, a person evaluates their own abilities and interests, considers alternative career opportunities, establishes career goals, and plans practical developmental activities. Career planning seeks to achieve the following objectives. It attracts and retains the right persons in the organization. It maps out career of employees suitable to their ability and their willingness to be trained and developed for higher positions. It ensures better use of human resources through more satisfied and productive employees. It ensures more stable workforce by reducing labor turnover and absenteeism. It utilizes the managerial talent available at all levels within the organization. It improves employee morale and motivation by matching skills to job requirements and by providing job opportunities for promotion. It ensures that promising persons get experience that will equip them to reach responsibilities for which they are capable. It provides guidance and encouragement to employees to fulfill their potential. It helps in achieving higher productivity and organizational development. This essence of a progressive career development program is built on providing support for employees to continually add to their skills, abilities, and knowledge. Clearly communicating the organization goals and further strategies, creating growth opportunities, offering financial assistance, providing the time for employees to learn. So on the part of employees, they should manage their own career like entrepreneurs managing a small business. They should think of themselves as self-employed. Career planning seeks to achieve the following objectives. It attracts and retains the right person in the organization. It maps out careers of employees suitable to their ability and their willingness to be trained and developed for higher positions. It ensures better use of human resources through more satisfied and productive employee. It ensures more stable workforce by reducing labor turnover and absenteeism. It utilizes the managerial talent available at all levels within the organization. It improves employee morale motivation by matching skills to job requirements and by providing job opportunities for promotion. It ensures that promising persons get experience that will equip them to reach responsibilities for which they are capable. It provides guidance and encouragement to employees to fulfill their potential. It helps in achieving higher productivity and organizational development. Career anchor. Some recent evidence suggests that 6 different factors account for the way people select and prepare for a career. They are called the career anchors because they become the basis for making career choices. They are particularly found to play a significant role amongst youngster generations choosing professionals. Managerial competence, functional competence, security, creativity, autonomy, and independence. Technological competence. So the career goal of managers is to develop qualities of interpersonal, analytical, and emotional competence. People using this anchor want to manage the people. And functional competence, the anchor for technicians is the continuous development of technical talent. These individuals do not seek managerial positions. The security, the anchor for security conscious individuals is to stabilize their career situations. They often see themselves tied to a particular organization or geographical location. The creative individuals are somewhat entrepreneurial in their attitude. They wanted to create or build something that is entirely their own. Career planning process. This process involves in all the levels of management process, particularly analyzing of the characteristics of the reward and incentives program offered by the prevailing career system needs to be done and made known to employee. Many individuals may not be aware of their own career progression path, such as information may be confined to only select group of managers. Analyze the characteristics of the hopes and aspirants in different categories. The individual may not have a clear idea of their short and long-term career and life goals and may not be aware of the aspiration of career anchor. Mechanism for identifying congruence between individual career aspirants and organizational career system must develop so as to enable the organization to discuss cases of mismatch or incongruence of all the items. Alternative strategies for dealing with mismatch will have to be formulated. Some of these strategies adopted by several organizations include the following: changes in the career system by creating new career paths, new incentives, new rewards, by providing challenge through job redesign, opportunities for lateral movement and the like. Change in the employee's hopes and aspirants by creating new needs, new roles, new aspirations, or by helping the employees to scale down goals and aspirations that are unrealistic or unattainable for one reason or the other. Succession planning. Succession planning is an ongoing process that identifies necessary competencies, then work to assess, develop, and retain a talent pool of employees in order to ensure continuity of leadership for all critical positions. Succession planning is a specific strategies spells out the particular steps to be followed to achieve the mission, goals, initiatives identified in course planning. It is a plan that managers can follow and implement customized to meet the needs of the organization, division and the department. The continued existence of an organization over can require a succession of persons to fill the key positions. The purpose of succession planning is to identify and develop people to replace current incumbents in key positions for a variety of reasons. Some of these reasons are given below: resignation, promotion, diversification, creation of new positions, and superannuation. So these are all the points we can see about from that succession planning. Right? Thank you.